Monday. Did I wake you?
Sorry, what?
We just did the podcast. You should wake me.
I had a Mardi Gras ball last night.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We talk about Book of Boba Fett Chapter 2.
Some.
We also pitch a really good Cheers Mos Eisley thing. I think they think that John and Dave should totally pick up from us.
Yep.
We talk Tusken Raiders. We talk Hutts. We talk Black Krrsantanums.
Talk Galactic Star Cruiser.
We talk a little bit about Galactic Star Cruiser. What else do we talk about?
Harry Potter at the end.
Briefly.
Some Harry Potter.
I just thought of the theme song. Sometimes you want to go where sand does not get everywhere.
For more of that, just watch the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to My Star Wars Life, a look at news, reviews, and other happenings from a galaxy far, far away. Here are your hosts, Scotty and JD.
Welcome to My Star Wars Life. This is your Native American pop culture spirit dog guide, Scotty White. And always, I'm your Jedi Master JD with him and Gellman.
Hello there.
And we're keeping that. That's how the show's going to open. I can't. Look, I'm impaired this episode.
That's why I figured.
Good.
And you'll see why I'm impaired if you watch or listen to the Cult Movie Cantina.
Yep.
The Lady of Libations.
Yep.
I'm impaired as well, but less so.
Libated me.
Oh.
Can't say that.
She libated me so hard.
Oh.
And there goes.
There it goes.
There we go. Disney's
There goes our monetization.
Wait, we're monetized?
No.
It's just my favorite
Hey,
new
but
I
insult.
was
you know
about
what?
to say, because I'm not getting paid.
It's my favorite new insult.
But you know what?
I get paid with experience.
You know what?
And that couch. Wait. Never.
Do you know what?
Yeah, what?
I am proud of the 400 subscribers we got.
Oh, no, yeah.
Which have grown. We have
Yeah.
grown, so we're
Yeah.
so shooting for 500. This is Mando Mondays.
Yep.
And on Mando Mondays, we talk about shows that involve Mandalorians. Or
Mandalorian adjacent.
adjacents.
Yeah, because there's a lot of there's a lot of discourse about Boba Fett being Mandalorian or not.
So
I don't think we're on Discourse. That's its own server.
we're going to talk Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Yep.
The Tribes of Tatooine.
Yeah.
I remembered.
Yeah.
I remember what.
Which also ruined a lot of what could have been, which is they could have just gone with, really cool like sci-fi movie names, and then they were like, nope, we're just
Yeah. Sorry, they couldn't call it a Dune stuff, right?
yeah.
You can rate every podcast. Maybe this is not the one to rate us on, but on Apple or Google
Unless
Play.
you are one of those that does slow down indeed at train wrecks.
Right.
Then by all
Which
means,
is- which-
by all means, rubberneck.
Which honestly is thematic for this
I
episode.
know,
I don't
it's
know,
right.
yeah.
I knew what I was doing.
You're smart. You are a Jedi Master. Yeah, you can like us on any podcast app. I suggest Apple. Ratings do help us out.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us on Facebook.com/MyStarWarsLife to find out all the information about Star Wars that we decide to post. And you may be able to talk to me because these two guys don't really talk on it, but you can talk to me. And then, but no one ever talks to me, so it doesn't matter.
Was
There's
the
also YouTube.com.
Yeah, I was gonna let him
Yeah,
talk.
yeah,
was the Cult Movie Candy? Did y'all do Eurotrip? Is that why?
No.
No.
We talked about a French movie, though.
Hold on, wait. Let me get through this for my train of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Train.
It's a thematic episode. If you want to watch our smiling faces and see this train wreck, you can see us on youtube.com/Mobcast Network.
Yes.
And subscribe and like us there too.
Smash the button.
On Wednesday, you'll be able to watch and listen to the Cult Movie Cantina's version of City of Lost Children, which is a French film that stars Ron Perlman.
We?
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and like he was 45 when he made this movie. He
Yeah,
looks
it was
like
95.
Yeah, he looks like he was 22.
Really?
He looks like super crazy young.
Okay.
It's a weird steampunky French film,
Okay.
and the Lady of Libations brought something that was apparently strong enough to affect this show. I hate
Okay.
that you missed it.
Yeah.
But you had fun last night.
I
You
did.
went to a Mardi Gras ball.
We did. It was a very, 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 very fun time.
Because it is that time of year, all the Mardi Gras balls.
Yeah, I
Right,
think
and-
this was the first one, but it's because it's technically outside of the. I don't know why I sounded Irish right then. I
Yeah,
think
it's a
this
little-
is the first one.
It's a little,
I
it's a
think it's
little,
the first
it's
one.
a little early.
But-
Because
Let's all just pick an accent and just
That's
do the whole
all right,
show.
so the
This
problem,
offends everybody.
the problem with the Queens of Dreams is it's not a parading society. It's just a ball,
yeah,
and we had one, so it's great.
yeah, because usually they start around February.
Yeah,
which is
well,
when
it's
Mardi Gras
all
is.
it's all based on Easter.
Yeah.
So sometimes it does dip into early January
Yeah.
if Easter's early that year.
For those who are new to this podcast, we record out of Mobile, Alabama, the birthplace of Mardi Gras. Suck
Boom,
it, New
boom, boom.
Orleans.
But although New Orleans
Go ahead.
does celebrate it a little bit better.
They
than
they
us.
they celebrate the 18 up version.
Right,
Yeah.
but like
But we
like
are the
Brazil
place
kicks
of
it. Brazil kicks us up a notch too for Carnival, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like
And theirs is the original.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
Which so during one of my paint streams this week,
ooh,
paint party on Wednesdays, where if you wanted to paint and join us, you're welcome to.
I can't paint.
Um,
I can paint
I'll bring
houses.
some minis because I have stuff that I actually have to glue together and paint. So
you just put your camera and mic on, and it's StreamYard, so I'll give you the link and you come on in.
Okay.
I had a new viewer and a new subscriber to my channel, which was awesome, from Brazil, and we were chatting, and I was like, "We're gearing up for Mardi Gras. Are you excited for Carnival?" They have canceled Carnival this year.
Oh no!
In Brazil
Oh.
because of
Omicron?
COVID.
Omicron?
Yeah.
Omicron.
And then he was like, if you do come to Brazil, because I want to
Yeah.
go to all these places.
Absolutely.
He's like, if you do come to Brazil, you just have to promise me one thing: you don't only go to Rio. And then told me like,
Yeah,
he was
'cause-
like, go to this place. It's a quiet little place with paradise beaches. Is like,
Yeah.
thanks, that's awesome.
I'm guessing because Rio is like that's where all the tourists go. And-
Right, it's all the tourists and all the crime.
Yeah.
So, but he was just like, yeah, this has a pair of gorgeous beaches, and it's just lovely.
And Sao Paulo and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was like even like I have to look it up. It's like a little
Cool.
town, so
All
I don't know how we get there, but let's go.
Yeah.
that's
I got to take Danny to Italy first, but then we can go to Brazil.
Speaking of trips, and I'm only saying this because he listens to the podcast, and so I'm just going to keep goading him on this. So I talked to our friend Bubba Saturday,
Yes.
and Bubba, who is a friend and listener to the podcast, he's probably listening right now on his tractor because he is a grass farmer.
Yeah.
He grows sod,
Yeah.
and not the other kind of grass. He doesn't grow the devil's lettuce.
Yet.
Till
It's not legal in Alabama.
Till
Once it becomes legal, then
Then it's-
all bets are off. But he suggested to me, and pretty seriously, that he wants to go to the Galaxy, the Star Wars Hotel.
it's
Thank you. I'm kind of lit, so
it's
I'm going to call it the
I
Star
got
Wars
it.
Hotel.
The cruise, the
But
Galactic
yeah,
Cruise.
Go Galactic Cruise. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll go with that
great.
for now until I.
And I was like, yeah, but it's like $5,000. And he literally said, I got $5,000. I'll pay for it. And when he said that, I'm like, seriously? And he went, absolutely. So he wants to take you and me
Galactic Star Cruiser. Yep.
and maybe one other person. So I might have like Caleb and Steph fight for it.
Well, here's why I.
There. Oh wait, hold on.
I want to make my argument now.
But wait, I have a
Yeah.
pause. There is a medieval times in Orlando, so we just take them both and reenact Cable Guy, and that's who goes.
Yeah, but here's why I should go. I'm the producer of the show, and so I should be able to talk about the Star Wars stuff on the Star Wars podcast. I can't talk about it if I didn't go.
But if we're gone, someone has to produce the show while we're gone.
Well, we make a show while we're there. Even better.
I like his argument.
I have a good. So,
And that'd be great advertisement for you, Disney. If say you want to,
Oh yeah,
Disney-
Disney wants our 400 subscribers.
also, point to not really a counterpoint. Caleb also small like Bubba, perfect snuggling.
Right. Right. I think Bubba just was like, no, that's okay. And the moment you mentioned the word
Oh
snuggle,
no, Bubba just thinks he wants to be Big Spoon, and he doesn't know better.
oh,
Plus, Plus,
So-
I want to play some sabacc while we're there because
I keep forgetting. I got
'Cause
the
there's a
deck when I was there
Mhm.
over Halloween. I
Right.
bought a sabacc deck. I keep forgetting to bring that and the trivia. I got to remember that I'm actually doing podcasts on
Yeah.
Sundays when I come to work
And
because I
yeah.
forgot until you walked in and I went, "Oh, that's tonight."
and
I
what's
should
re-
probably watch the show today.
What's also really got me in the mood is I've been playing Sims 4, and they have the Batu experience expansion, and you
so
can
you can go to Batu on The Sims.
yeah, and so you create a sim, and then you go on vacation to Batu, and you can play sabacc against Hondo, and I just won because I cheated, but
Of course,
how you win
This
Sabacc.
is
That's how you win
because of
Sabacc.
I only played Sims 1
mm-hmm.
back in the day, and
Sims 3 was my main one.
and me and my ex-wife, we would just play serial killers and box people in.
Yeah,
And watch
box
them
people
die.
in and
And watch
remove
them-
the ladders from pools.
Right,
and,
and watch them starve to death. We were sick back then.
Yeah.
We had issues.
I mean, that's still pretty common today. They haven't removed the whole, removing a ladder from a pool scenario, so you can still do that.
You
you
murder
can-
your Sims, set
yeah.
them on fire. It's
Yeah. Now
Uh,
you just can
See,
also have a lightsaber.
I hope that if I die and go to heaven, heaven's not just The Sims. First of all, because I'd hate to talk like that. I would hate that.
Yeah, Similish.
Similar is just dumb. No, man.
It gets the point across, though, because you can still tell what's
Right,
going on.
yeah, when he's on fire, running around going, This is a podcast about Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, that's
Eventually.
why, I mean, I talked about Star Wars within Sims.
You tried to get Batu into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. The Book of Boba Fett, Episode
Yes.
2, Tribes of Tatooine, stars Tamora Morrison as Boba Fett, Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shan, Matt Berry's back as the voice of 88 or somebody else. It's K97 or whatever they're calling him.
Yeah.
I didn't do my notes this week. David Pasquale as Mok Shah's Major Domo. Jennifer Beals as Garza Whip, which is spelled with an F.
Whip.
And it's but it's whip, they pronounce it whip with no F,
Yeah.
and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, 'cause
it's like herb. There's an H in it.
Whip.
Whip.
Would you like some cool whip?
Cool whip.
Whip.
Carrie Jones as Black Krrsantan. Did I say that right?
Krrsantan.
Chris, there's no. Yeah.
Chrysanthemum.
See, that's what I want because like Black Krrsantan.
Yeah.
This-
No. Trust me. It's still even people who are as knowledgeable as us are also struggling.
Say it
see.
again.
Krrsantan
Krrsantan.
or Krrsantan. There's multiple ways because there's
And
we
Wookiee
don't
is-
have because we don't have a nobody's pronounced
His
it out
name.
loud
We-
yet because he's a comic character.
Paul Darnell as the Nightwind Assassin.
Don't you mean Steve Carell? Because those were Steve Carell's eyes.
Yeah.
Galen Howard as the City Hall clerk, who's probably my favorite character this episode. Robert Rodriguez, showrunner, is the Mayor Mok Shah's voice. And then Jimmy Kimmel's nephew Wesley's back.
Kitty Kimmel.
Jay Kimmel.
As the Tuscan kid. Joanna Bennett is the Tuscan warrior, who's the
The
greatest,
best.
best thing in the show, I think. And Javier Jimenez as the Tuscan chieftain.
Javier Jimenez.
Javier Jimenez. And then we got some interesting cameos, but I won't talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
So, and literally a cameo by a cami. So,
But not my cami.
who's your cami?
Street Fight and cami.
Street Fight
Yeah.
cami's
Oh,
your
yeah.
cami.
That's why that karaoke night was awesome. Because Cammy was singing songs.
Oh,
But we don't talk about
Is
that.
that she did the voice of Cami?
For the last few games, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
I got you.
No, I'm just kidding.
All
I don't
right.
get anybody in trouble. Not that there was anything to get in trouble. I just don't want to like name drop or anything. Continue the podcast. Continue the joke.
So the episode starts out with Fennec Shand dragging the Nightwind assassin to Jabba's palace. All right, so I want to start out with this. In the first episode, they really made a point out of like, where's your litter? Why
Yeah.
don't you have a litter?
Yeah.
And look, Boba Fett, I get you. I 100% understand why you don't want a bunch of dudes carrying you around because that's not a. But man, get a speeder.
Yeah.
Fennec Shand dragged that dude through the desert, and like we tried to figure out how far that was, and it could be like here. To the
Either
next-
way, it's a long way.
yeah, it's a long way to walk in the desert.
Right.
She just marched his ass right through it, and just so.
I mean, I guess maybe she was just trying to like show a force to the assassin, but
She
like,
beat the shit out of him and tied him up. That's pretty much a show of force.
And Ming Na's not very big, right?
Right, no.
No.
So, and
yeah,
I mean,
she's more, she's
I
more
know,
of a dexterity.
I know Fennec
dexterity.
is a strong bounty hunter,
Right.
But that dude was like twice her height,
Yeah.
and she's just dragging him through the sand for kilometers.
Yeah.
Like
I would,
just
I would argue like in D&D standards, Fennec is more of a dexterity build.
yeah, and so but she's just like whatever. I guess sand is rolling wheels. She's just like
Drags his ass through it. So they meet up with Fett, who's holding court, and he tries to get information out of the guy. Turns out he's a Nightwind of assassin.
the
Which-
assassins of the farts.
Right. the Dutch Ovens.
Well, yeah. What a terrible name to pay for too, because she makes the joke that you're paying for the name.
Right, because they're not. Yeah, they're not really. They're just guys in hoods. You're just paying for the night. Fennec is like the best.
So is that like Abercrombie? You're paying for the name.
You're right. They're the Abercrombie of assassins.
Back in my day, it was Izod. You paid for the crocodile.
Right. The Nightwind assassin is not giving up any names, even when he has the Gamorrean guards threaten to chop off his head, and then Fennec's like, "Well, I'll just feed you to the Rancor," and she pulls the trap door, and off he goes falling. And we get the cool scene of like, we're gonna see a Rancor, and then of course there isn't a Rancor because Luke killed that fucker.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, and there's a baby one, but like it's off somewhere else.
see, so Bad Batch they have the baby one.
Well, Aftermath, the novel, also because the
I
not
forgot
Rancor, the Rancor trainer
Keeper.
survived.
Oh, Maliki.
Yeah, Malekith, and along with our Marshal, they found the baby Rancor.
Right.
And
Which they cut Maliki out of the Mandalorian episode.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was there.
Yeah, so they found a baby Rancor, and they're raising it off somewhere else.
Okay, so that's why he wasn't there.
Yeah, and so but it also is good because a lot of people were like, "Well, if you're going to introduce the trapdoor, you got to pay it off." In episode 2, they pay it off.
They did. And then, so there's no Rancor in there.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
Chekhov's Rancor trap. There is no Rancor inside, and so, but beforehand, the Nightwind assassin gives up. Oh, the mayor sent me. And so they drag Boba Fett drags the Nightwind assassin with Fennec and the guards to the mayor's office, where he's
Not before we saw a cute mouse.
Yeah, we
We just
saw.
saw
the reveal of a mouse was there, not the Rancor though.
a Dorb's mouse. The mayor's clerk didn't find
Clerks. It's the next Clerks movie.
Did not see him on the list.
God, that should have been Brian. That would have been awesome.
I'm supposed to work here today.
In Huttese.
Side note, before I continue, so I'm
Yeah.
watching Kevin Smith's podcast,
Mhm.
and they're covering the Mandalorian like we are. And one of the fan questions, because they end with 3 fan questions every episode, and one of the fan questions were, what if Favreau and Filoni gave Kevin Smith the keys to make whatever he wanted Star Wars with, and the first answer was like, I don't know, nothing, because I'd screw it up. He's super, especially now after his adventures in the land of He-Man.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's gotten positive and negative,
and the negative reviews are really weighing on it. It sounds like they're really weighing on him. And
that's the fandom for you.
And he put it as like I got in trouble for not playing with the toys the way people wanted me to play with the toys.
Yeah.
And so, and I kind of agree that he got a lot of shit for that.
And I'm upset about the future of like any franchise because that's just how fandoms react nowadays.
How it is. But so he kind of declined to answer, and then someone pointed out was like, he should totally do a Cantina show.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Kind of do an adaptation of Tales.
Yeah, like Cheers.
Yeah, well, because it's Legends now, but there's a book that's a bunch of short stories called Tales from the Cantina.
I have it.
And that'd be a great thing to kind of like give his own twist of adaptations
But
on.
I would love Cheers on Tatooine.
Yeah.
It just Mos Eisley's Cantina, and you just like EV-99's the new bartender because
Right.
Wur's
Yeah.
dead, and just
You could even bring, since it's a Cheers reference, you could bring him in.
Ratzenberger?
Ratzenberger. Maybe Ratzenberger.
Yeah, because he was in
He's
Hawk.
he's also friendly with Disney. So
Well, he was also in Empire, so
yeah.
Yeah.
and so that'd be fun. I'd watch the hell out
What
of
was
that.
the little mouse that wanted the milk at the bar in the first? Was it like Kobe, KB?
Oh,
Cobbett.
Cabe.
Cabe.
Yeah.
So every time Cabe walks in, Cabe.
Cabe. Cabe. Cabe.
But in like 13 different languages.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. Cabe, Cabe.
See, it writes itself.
I would also say bring Ted Danson in because he'd be funny.
Yeah, he would be funny. I'm probably thinking now. I want to cast this. So Cabe's our Norm,
Yeah.
and when we bring back John Ratzenberger as Cliff,
Yeah.
but like an
Well,
extra.
no, he's retired.
Right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Republic.
Yeah, he's retired.
Because this would be like during
And he
the
had a
Boba.
name,
This would be
though.
during the Mandalorian Boba Fett era. So
Yeah.
he's like advert.
Hold on. He had a he I think he had a
Yeah,
name.
he does.
He had a Star Wars card too.
Yeah.
Let me I'm
Everybody's taking my job. Took my job.
Bryn Derlin,
Yep.
Major Bryn Derlin, and his lore is hero of Nanada, supervised construction of Echo Base on Hoth, head of base security at Mos Eisley, at the Mos Eisley Cantina. Everyone knows his name.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No, that's the lore.
Okay. Is that? I'm guessing that's Legends stuff.
No,
but-
that's from the game.
But you
so
could,
yeah.
but yeah, you could always bring that in, make it like canonize it, and then on top of that, you could like,
He's also while at the Mos Eisley Cantina, his power +1. So
yeah. So there you go.
So-
And then you have like other characters that appeared like that we know. Maybe like Max Rebo appears, and like we get an episode about him.
right, I need Woody to be played by Talls. It's a big fuzzy thing.
Yeah.
That's like because they're dumb.
Yeah.
And it's a big dumb Talls. It
Yeah.
would be great.
What sports team would they like? Because they can't be Boston
It'd
fans.
no, but it'd be like one like a podcaster that's podcaster, pod racer that's passes. Like
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
there's some Boba fans, right?
Oh.
Like or and I say that as a Red
Hey,
Sox fan.
So Boba is the lead.
No. Because Silva's bad guy. You don't even like Ben Quadraneros.
Ooh, yeah.
Because he looks
And then
kind
you
of
get-
funny and he
then
looks
you-
like he'd be a bar.
And then you've
And
immediately
you have him voiced by Ted Danson.
and and then you've immediately sold it to Dave because he likes Ben Quadraneros.
Right. So we've got.
Okay. I'm thinking of a pissed off Jawa as Rhea Perlman.
Sold. I'm in that. All right, so we got that. The Diane and what was Kirstie Alley's character's name?
I got it.
Susan? No.
Susan.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I watched
I've
it.
been
I
wa-
got it.
Oh, hold on. You gotta have Watto come in.
Watto's got to at least appear because we don't know that he's dead.
Watto's your Fraser Crane.
Yeah.
Is he though?
Yeah, because then he'll get a spin-off show later, and then
So
But
you-
Watto's not that smart.
It's okay.
okay.
But he's always, like with Lilith, he was always just downtrodden.
Right.
So maybe he's like, hold on.
Who am I looking for again? I just forgot.
Kirstie Alley's character name.
That could. I don't want spoilers. That could be Fixer and Cammy.
No, it could be Fixer and Gammy.
Rebecca Howe.
Rebecca. So I think you're Rebecca and you're I just had her.
Yeah, your on and off
Diane.
relationship with Ben Quadraneros.
But they're like one's a Jedi and one's a Sith.
So that's when Mara Jade's introduced.
Word. Mara Jade, your Kirstie Alley. I'm in for this show.
Mara Jade likes Ben
'cause she's-
Quadraneros,
'cause-
but it doesn't quite work out.
Right, because he's weirdly shaped and she doesn't know where things work.
But he's got 4 hands, so sometimes it's fun.
right. She's here for the party, but not for the whole dance.
Yeah. And then we have Luke appear in season 2 because we just gotta have Luke in season 2's.
we need
To meet Mara.
Yeah, to meet Mara.
we need an old guy to die.
Maybe that's Watto. Maybe Watto's coach.
Oh, Watto's coach.
Watto's coach.
Well, so he
back
he
in the
owns
day,
yeah,
because back in the day when I owned pod racers,
right. Gotcha.
Maybe after Anakin moved on, I bought out Ben Quadraneros'
Right.
team.
I got you.
And
okay.
then
it's
it's like NASCAR. You buy the team, and then you.
when we see Watto in episode 2, he's on a bad streak a lot.
Yeah,
So
right.
maybe his luck turned around and where he's won a cantina.
Yeah.
And so he's the coach, and then he gets Ben to come work for him after Ben retires. 'Cause
Yeah.
Ben probably needs the
Yeah.
cash, and you need the celebrity name. So there's that. So you've got
Yeah.
that going, and then Berlin comes in with Cabe. That's and so now we're and your Jawa is your Rhea Perlman.
Right.
So
Yep.
now we're
we still need a Fraser.
Oh yeah, we need a Fraser. Who would be a good Fraser?
He was the bounty hunter that dressed like a rebel.
Oh, is it?
God, I played him in almost every deck. Human.
Is it Dengar?
No. He was from the cards from the Decipher game.
Right.
Oh no. I know exactly who should. Well, no, he's not smart enough. Never mind.
He dressed like a rebel pilot because you see him.
Oh, is it the guy that's been
Oh,
reintroduced?
Boshek.
Boshek is your Frasier.
Boshek's
Okay.
your Frasier. Okay.
You could also use the show to kind of give us a live action version of. He's in the comics now, and he's really big. He's got his own comic run, the Bounty Hunter comics currently. Valence.
I'm gonna stick with Boshek. He's a classic.
Yeah.
Well, Valence is classic.
He's a little bit older now.
Valence is classic though, because he was in the 70s, like the old Marvel Star Wars comics.
Right, but Boshek's in A New Hope.
I am.
I mean, he's going to come back
You
to.
can't get more classic.
He's
than
going to
that.
come
that's
back
fair.
to the cantina after
mean,
all the troubles.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, without Boshek, Obi-Wan doesn't find Chewbacca.
Yeah, you're right.
It's true.
Because Obi-Wan asked Boshek first,
Yeah.
and Boshek goes, "I'm busy."
And
With the fuzzball over here,
and
is
he'd
good.
also probably frequent the Mos Eisley Cantina more than Valence. Valence is busy right now.
Right, but and he's sort of retired from his smuggling and bounty hunting,
Yeah.
and but he still works, so that's why he doesn't have to be in every episode because Frasier
Yeah.
wasn't there to every episode.
No.
But then his spinoff, where he moves
That's where
to
you introduce Dash Rendar.
Naboo to live a better life.
Yeah.
So Naboo is basically Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Is that not the poshest place? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
I got you.
Okay, so he moves to Naboo with his brother, Loshek. I don't
Yeah,
know.
whatever they decide to come up with. This is our pitch to you, by the way.
Yeah.
If you take this, you
Dave,
gotta
John,
bring-
if you're listening, we have the show for you.
yeah, we'll help co-write it. That way, saves you a little bit.
Oh, John will be like, "I'm writing this." I'm like,
Yeah,
"All
he'll
right,
probably take it from us. Yeah,
It's fine.
as long as I get, we get creative money. As long as we get
He'll
that.
be like, "You get to visit the volume."
Okay.
I'm like, "Okay."
I just
but
wanna
you could
be the
probably
voice of an alien
yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, but then you could also probably introduce Dash Rendar into that from there.
Well, you already have me there. Wow, what a tangent. We have other
Yeah,
stuff to talk
yeah,
about.
we got
Do
major
we?
stuff to talk
Do we
about with
really?
this episode because there's a lot happened this
There was no
episode.
bigs.
Well, but a lot of yeah.
No, but there was a Cammy and a,
Yeah.
and
That's right,
a
that-
fixer.
And
No
also
bigs.
a Black Krrsantan and
Uh,
and then the twins.
so where was I? So Fett gets
Where
stuck.
everybody knows your name.
Yeah,
Where-
you left off with him talking. They
Talking to the
just
clerk.
revealed the yeah.
Talking to the clerk. He bypasses the clerk. The major domo comes in and tries to stop him. That does not work. And so you meet the mayor, who is a Ithorian, voiced by Robert Rodriguez, or actually his translation.
Yeah, it's translated, but yeah.
Because Ithorians can't speak basic, so they speak through their weird thing. Fett's all like, "Why'd you send this assassin?" The mayor's like, "Oh, good, that guy sucks anyway, so kill him."
He's like, yeah, we didn't send that.
We didn't send that, and he's not supposed to be out operating outside of hut space. So yeah, you did us a favor, and so pay the guy. And
Which brings up a comment I had earlier when we were watching it together.
Fett was like, "I'll just take this as tribute because you're supposed to pay me
Mhm.
tribute." And the guy's like, "I'll give you some advice. I didn't send this assassin. Who would benefit to the assassin? Go to Fwip's cantina to find out more. Would you like to know more? Go over here."
Go to Flashdance.
Go to
Yeah.
Flashdance.
See what
yeah,
happens.
So they go to Flashdance. Turns out Jabba's got some cousins
the twins.
who are
Creepily intertwined.
kind of incestual. I'm not.
Well, no, because huts are asexual, so they reproduce that way, anyways.
And yet they said she.
Because there was a she and then a he, because they were brother sister.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not as asexual as you think.
No.
There's a litter of a bunch of dudes carrying these two giant
Yeah,
huts.
there's like 20.
and who are making pretty good time.
yeah, because we look away, and the next thing you know, they're like almost down the street completely.
You know what I appreciated about that whole scene? There was one, I think it was the Nikto in the front, stumbled one time. Like, that's acting.
Right.
Right?
Like,
You got to imagine they're like, just stand there and look tired, and one dude's just like, And I was like, oh, dude, great.
yeah, because however much they weigh, because
They
it's
are-
technically two huts together.
That's a lot of hut.
That's a lot.
That's
of
a lot of hut butt,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to hut butt
And I
that
assume
hut butt
like
around.
I assume your average hut is like at least 300 to 500 pounds.
Are you saying okay? For the record, I weigh 315 pounds.
Okay, you're right then. So about 1,000.
Am I a hut now?
No,
like
no,
are we fixing to have?
But they're a lot.
we
They're a
fixing
lot.
to have
No,
the
more,
Mad Jedi
more,
Master
more,
turn
more,
to the dark
more,
side and
more,
murder the Padawan.
More. Sorry,
I was gonna say
my numbers are
That's-
not great right now.
that's for reference.
My numbers are not great. Yeah,
This is 300.
my numbers are not great right now.
Yeah, I was like,
They're about 1,000 probably.
oh no, yeah, I'd say 1,200 each. Easy.
Yeah.
Because, okay, remember this: the original puppet had how many people inside? 7 or 5?
Yeah.
The average hut
Oh,
weighs.
here we go.
Or we could just Google that
Yeah,
shit.
you know,
According
I
to
could
the,
do my producer job and look it up.
could according to the internet,
Yeah,
Which is always true.
right. So that's right.
maybe a role playing book.
The average hut weighs over 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
Okay,
So they're
so
hauling.
so a little less than what you
So
were saying, a little bit
3
more
tons
than.
of hut is what
yeah.
they're hauling.
Well, I said
So-
1,200.
yeah.
So like that's
So about half that.
So
So about 6,000.
yeah. So well,
so those 17 guys are hauling 6,000 pounds.
yeah, 2 tons.
Yeah.
2 tons or 3 tons of hut.
I want those on my football team. Those guys,
Yeah.
carrying
Especially
that
with
litter,
how quick they're going.
there's got to be some hover technology.
They need to be on my hut ball team. But remember, no kicking.
Hut ball.
There-
Well,
there's
there's no
got-
legs
there-
for huts.
There's got to be some.
Well, yeah, there's a game called hut ball.
I know,
and
just-
you're not allowed to kick because
yeah,
it's
'cause
insulting to the
it's
huts.
Insulting. There's got to be hover technology under there. I mean, if it's 6K,
Yeah.
there was like what 5 guys on the front, 4, 4, and 5. Like
Yeah.
that's 18 people.
Yep.
I don't know how.
But they're also nicked too, so they may be super strong.
There
Well,
was a Twi'lek. There
yeah,
were a
there
couple
was- they were-
humans.
there was a
it
bunch
was
of people.
mixed race.
Okay, I got you.
Sorry, mixed species.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
So
open opportunity slavery.
Yeah.
yeah,
I wanna-
absolutely.
So I do want to go back. Speaking of Twi'leks, I want to go back a bit to Flip's like people
Yep.
from her servants. I don't know if you noticed. I know you're a big Twi'lek person.
I mean, I like Hera.
You like Hera. So did you
And
notice?
I like Ayla.
So I didn't notice in the first episode until a lot of commentators talked about it. We've got our first transgender Twi'leks.
Are they transgender for like?
Yeah, because the ears. Because females have the cone ears, and regular males have the flat human ears.
Yeah.
And the male in the first episode, and he appears again in the background in this episode. He
He has cones.
has the cones, yeah,
Well,
I didn't notice that.
Star Wars being progressive yet again.
and that's what, and also like that's like something that's subtle.
And that's what I want to talk about. Progressiveness.
But
in Star
it's
Wars
also
is
like
terrible.
pretty subtle though. It's really smart
Yeah,
and
I
subtle
can't be
because
toxic.
only fans like us who
Just
pay attention to that stuff.
intoxicated.
Yeah, like art, but like it's kind of cool that it's very subtle.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's just there.
It's not slap in the face. If you notice, you notice. Cool.
Yeah. I just want to throw that out there because I know you know your Twi'lek knowledge and like that.
I like Hera.
Yeah, you like Hera.
But Ayla.
That's your main.
But
Ayla.
But
Ayla was the original.
But Ayla. Ula was the original.
But like Ayla's like the original for me. That like
That's fair. Yeah.
that's like that's
Ula
yeah.
may have been the first boob I saw on TV. Like, just saying.
Because
that thing fell right
out.
The 6 boobs.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's really all about nice noodles. But
You know. Anyway.
I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna be like shame anybody. What the kink shame anything? You know, if you're really like into sliced noodles, you know, you do that.
He's got that.
she's got that like deadly, you know, kind of thing going though, because she was willing to kill a hut.
She does have a pair of lips.
Well, also she killed a hut.
Well, Zero, who's barely a hut. He's more of a
That's still
Truman Capote.
that's still putting a death mark on you though.
Apparently, you need permission to kill a hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay. I want to go. Yeah. So yeah. Boba Fett mentions to them when you're going to what we were talking
Real
about.
quick, real quick. So we can get to that point.
Yeah. Go ahead and get to that point.
Fett and the twins meet, and Fett's basically like, "Hey, I got Jabba stuff."
He said, "Get out of my swamp."
He's like, yeah. He's like, hey. So yeah, Jabba died, and you guys didn't show up when
So
the
this
other
is-
guy showed up and took over. Why are you?
They did
showing
have
up
a
now?
guy with like a hollow tab, like no, this is like crime lords are like there's a deed to it.
Yeah.
And Fett's like, that don't count.
He's
And-
like, why didn't you show up when Bib took over?
right. And so there's conflict between them, and then the male hut wipes the sweat off his body with a mouse, which is the hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like a
there's
deep
some
sea mouse.
Yeah,
Right.
there's some memes going on about who has the worst job in this episode, the mouse or something we'll talk about later.
Right. It's just like not sure there. But they leave things unresolved, and so Fett mentions that. Fennec mentions that
You can't kill them without permission.
You can't kill the Hutts without you need permission to kill the
So,
Hutts.
so I mentioned because we were watching the episode together today before,
like a family.
yeah, and I mentioned that I'd heard that there were some stuff about from people that looked into the lore more than I do, that the New Republic has laws now because the Hutts kind of were neutral during the war, to a degree. Like obviously Jabba was doing his Jabba thing, but in reality they were neutral. And so the neutrality allowed them to kind of be like, oh, we're part of the New Republic now and you can't do anything to hurt us. And I have an argument now for that because I didn't think of this argument till now. The assassin,
The Nightwind.
the Nightwind assassin.
The Fardas.
The mayor says that they're not allowed to operate outside of Hutt space. Tatooine is no longer Hutt space then, because they killed him
Well,
for operating outside of Hutt space.
right. But
So does that mean that Tatooine is now part of the New Republic?
no, it could still be an outer rim independent planet.
Yeah, it's not just New Republic and Hut space.
No, but like it's
I'm pretty sure there's Pike space.
but I don't think the Pike. No, I don't think the Pikes are.
There's Black Sun space.
I don't think they're viewed as like.
There's Crimson Dawn space.
I don't think they're viewed as independent systems, like in the same way as like Republic versus Hutt space, though, because you don't hear about the Pikes having laws the same way the Hutts do.
That's because they're good at their job.
And they have their own sets of
Also, a lot of their planets are in Republic space. Usually, the Pikes and the Black
Yeah.
Sun. Like Black Sun likes to operate on Corellia a lot,
Me.
which is pretty. That's about as Republic space as it gets.
Right.
I just don't think like Tatooine's very organized to have like.
We talked about this
Yeah,
with their
we
whole
talked about this last
law enforcement last time.
Right. I don't think they're very organized.
I don't think anywhere is organized really, except for Corellia and Coruscant. If we're really gonna.
Yeah, because
Right,
right
that's
now,
probably-
Alderon's all
And
so
maybe Naboo's
just
yeah, maybe Naboo's like the other like
Oh, Naboo,
Yeah.
Rythal,
Naboo has a little bit of laws.
Bespin,
I don't see
Ryloth.
Ryloth.
What if I say?
You said
Rythal.
Rythal.
Whatever.
Like,
Yeah.
is that your new shaving cream?
Sure.
Ryloth, I don't hear
Comes
about
out
law.
in details.
Again, I'm just
When
saying.
was-
Just
when
comes
wa-
out.
When was Ryloth like law enforcement ever like though like
no, I'm just saying.
introduced?
I'm
though?
not talking about law enforcement. I'm just saying like organized as like a government.
Oh, okay.
Moncal. I bet Moncal has a pretty good.
Well,
government.
Moncal, yeah. Well, we know Moncal government like laws exist,
Right, but Moncal-
because we
Moncal's
saw it
also
in Clone
a-
Wars. Because
Moncal's also a Republic world.
but it also has like two governments on it at the same
Yeah,
time because
the
it's got
Quarren.
the Quarren and the Moncal,
But also,
and I
they're
guess technically three because shark people.
And their currency's getting getting more out there since
Yeah.
we're expecting
Flan.
accepting flan.
But yeah,
Want some flan?
so I guess my argument is maybe Hutt space, maybe Tatooine's no longer Hutt.
Oh,
Well, that's the argument for Boba to have the territory. Oh, they can't operate out of Hut space. The mayor killed him. Therefore, this isn't Hut space. Therefore, it's my space. Get off my swamp.
Yep.
Facebook.
Go what?
You said MySpace, and I still went with Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I said swamp.
No, you said this is MySpace.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
And
my
then
space.
I
Get
went-
out my swamp.
And then
Yeah.
All
I,
right.
And then I said Facebook.
Yeah.
All right.
I was following my train of thought.
I got it.
Hey, we did not talk about the Wookiee in the
Yeah.
room.
Black Krrsantan.
Black Krrsantan.
Chrysanthemum. Yeah.
My favorite flower.
That's first.
Well, he doesn't care for other Wookiees either. So there's that.
So tell us a little bit more because you've read.
I've read Afro. I've read Vader. I've read all the stuff that he's currently in.
So, and you're a big fan.
Yeah.
So tell us
like
all
comics.
about him.
So he was a gladiator. So of course Boba Fett references it in this episode. He started off as a gladiator, and then eventually he freed himself via killing people,
Well, as gladiators do.
and as Wookiees would do.
Yep.
And so instead of going with the whole, kind of Chewbacca route of it, of like, oh, this stuff is bad. No. He like doubled down on the murder, and so he was like, I'm gonna just be a bounty hunter now. And him and Afro have like a past. They kind of reference that, like, not quite a life debt, but like they owe each other money
Right.
a lot of the time. And so Afro usually pays him to do stuff, and then he does stuff, and then they have like a working relationship. And he's had a working relationship with other bounty hunters such as Boba Fett and Dengar, and in fact, there was a point where Dengar fought Chewbacca and Krrsantan was there, and yeah,
Cool.
Okay.
so yeah, that's kind of his main stuff right
So
now.
they've met before this
yeah,
episode.
they've met before. So
Okay.
yeah, they like usually like a quick like fight run in. Like usually the bounty hunters are fighting each other
Gotcha.
because usually while they're not allowed to kill each other because of the bounty hunter guilds,
Right.
they are allowed to fight over bounties.
Yeah.
But
There was that great scene in Bad Batch with Cad and Fennec.
Yeah.
Like they weren't really trying to kill each other. They
Although
were just
Fennec's
saying,
really more assassin than bounty hunter, but yeah.
but she was hired. Well, but she was hired to save the kid.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know if they got the job through the bounty hunter guild either, because bounty hunter guild
that's true.
likes to take their share. And in canon, they are still in existence. I know in Legends they're bigger.
Yeah.
But the Bounty Hunter Guild does exist still, and a lot of the same rules apply, which is don't kill fellow bounty hunters. And other than that, really, that's about it.
And Huts apparently.
Yeah, and Hut, whatever Hut rules,
Yeah.
apply. And so,
Maybe it's a bounty hunting guild, or maybe it's a bounty hunting thing because Huts pay probably the most bounties,
yeah,
right? So maybe it's a guild rule to not kill Huts
Yeah.
because that's bad for business.
Right.
I wonder because
So
I
instead
know
of a Republic
because I know in
thing-
Legends. I can't remember because I know it's mentioned in a canon book, but I'd have to reread that book because there's a book with Bosk and Ezra working together, and they're basically like dealing with the Bounty Hunters Guild, and I'm trying to remember who's in charge of the Bounty Hunters Guild. I can't remember if it's still Bosk's father like it is in Legends,
Right.
or if it's somebody else.
I got you.
Because I know in Legends it's Bosk's father, and that's why Bosk is like,
Yeah.
Wait, did you say Ezra?
yeah,
Like Bridger?
yeah. There's a book where Bosk and Ezra work together.
I don't know why I missed that one. I've read the other. I thought there
It's
were
it's a continuation of that short. You know how there's that short for Rebels.
So was was Ezra good or was Bosk better than Ezra? Do you know how long I've been trying to fit that in one of these?
Who's the Bosk?
the better than Ezra joke. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
My favorite better than Ezra song. My favorite better than Ezra song is Rosalita.
Wallflower Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good song. Good song.
Yep.
King of New Orleans is really good too.
But yeah, so that's basically bounty hunter stuff going on as far as what I can
want
tell.
to karaoke better than Ezra.
Yeah.
I hadn't done it yet. All right.
I find it funny though that like Boba Fett, like you mentioned while we were watching it, you were like, "Man, Boba Fett's got some balls." Like,
Yeah.
like he insults the Huts that are there. He insults
The mayor.
Black Krrsantan.
Yeah.
Like anybody he runs into, he's insulting. And like I'm kind of on the mayor. Like I kind of agree with the mayor. I'm kind of like Boba Fett. You need to like.
He's bad at being a boss.
You are terrible boss.
They left the Jabba's palace in charge. Like they just leave. There's nobody there except, I guess, 88.
Yeah. Who like
Maybe
could
a spider monk? Who knows?
who could also I would think like somebody could just walk in and shoot him and then that'd be it. And
So I was wondering when Fennec walks up with the fart assassin, like the door opens.
Right.
yeah.
So previous times we had right the eyeball.
Right.
Is it just motion censored now?
Yeah.
Like if that's the case,
No,
Anybody,
no, it's
literally
like
anybody.
No, it's like a garage door, but she just like click, click. meh.
but it doesn't work on a vehicle. Maybe that's why they don't have vehicles. You have to
Right.
be only
Yeah.
going a certain speed.
I got you.
Maybe somebody like destroyed the little eye thing and that's why it doesn't exist now.
Or they didn't pay their fee because it's probably got like a.
it's like
It's
a
like
ring.
it's like a ring, yeah. You got to pay the monthly fee.
Sorry, you haven't kept up with your subscription.
we
over the
haven't
last
even got
4
to the
years.
other half of this episode.
Yeah, like Bib stopped paying and then they like moved
But
on.
the other half of this episode isn't very good for podcasting because we're doing it all in sign. So
Well, we have the video, so we can.
yes,
do
yes, and then this.
I can stop the train.
and I can
We
teach you to
ri-
drive a swoop, just like this.
Yeah. Just don't do this.
It's like an old Atari.
Or like a little joystick because I've been playing X-Wing.
That's an old Atari, by the way.
Yeah. But I mean like
I forget
but
he's
like
12.
PC, but like PC joystick, not an actual Atari joystick.
A politically correct joystick.
Because there's completely, two different types of joysticks.
No,
Yes,
there's more.
but
There's
once
there's
puberty
lots of
hits, we'll
genders.
teach you about the other.
I just jumped on the
No,
PC
I'm fine.
joystick.
No, I'm good.
Anyway,
You should know I don't
I'm trying to
care.
get down on y'all's level.
And you should know I don't care about being picked on.
I know.
Fett ends up in a sleepy time waterbed.
Apparently his injuries just never heal.
Just okay. And then we have Dreamy Time again. And so in Dreaming World, he remembers his time in the Tuscans where he learns how to use a gaffy stick from the ninja lady.
She's so good.
Mama Tuscan.
Okay. I know we've said her name. She's just basically a stunt actor, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Joanna Bennett.
Okay. Because she's awesome.
Yeah,
great.
she's amazing.
Like when we watch it, I need an episode of like her and Finnick just teamed up beating the crap out of stuff. That's all I want.
Can they come be Avengers? Let's just let them be part of the Avengers. Because the two of them, and then with Kate Bishop and Yelena,
yes,
it would just be awesome.
I'd watch that. So Fett's learning how to be a gaffy stick user from the awesome lady,
Mama. I just call her Mama.
Mama.
Yeah, Mama.
Mama Tuscan. And then a train shows up and starts shooting up all the Tuscans. And when I first watched it, I was like, man, there's a bunch of this is. Like, I thought it was going to be like a pleasure cruise thing. It's like, just ride the deserts of Tatooine and kill Tuscans. Like rich people would. Like
that does sound like
Squid Game. I mean, it's just
that does sound like something ripped right out of
American
history.
Right.
Yeah.
Just ride the rails and kill an Indian. And I'm like, I saw that happen, and I'm like, oh, everyone, they're all going to die. That's a train full of dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Fett convinces the tribal leader that he will go with rifle and stick, and they both look at
rifle and stick.
Right, and he's doing a lot of hand gestures,
And they look at each other and they're like yeah, right.
Why we can't see their face?
They do a great job.
Pretty good of just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. the really was written all over their face.
It honestly reminds me of like that meme of like my cat meowed at me and I meowed back and it's mad at me because I had 12 grammatical errors.
Yeah.
That's basically how I took it. And so he has spied some swoops driving in the desert.
Uh-huh.
And so he takes Gaffy and Stick to find the swoops to bring the swoops back. The swoops end up at Taxi Station.
We assume.
Yeah, we assume.
Wikipedia is sticking with that, and I'm going to stick with that.
Is that what Wikipedia
Wookiee's
says?
sticking with Taxi Station.
Okay.
And so it's a bar. It's got some arcade games, and it's got a bunch of Nicktoons who are the I guess the swoop gang.
Yeah, local swoop gang.
Local swoop gang, and they are annoying the patrons. The patrons turn out to be Cammy and Fixer, who are from the New Hope. They were Luke Skywalker's best friends, along with Biggs, and they are in a deleted scene, which I first saw in '95 on the CD-ROM.
Yeah,
there was a Star Wars CD-ROM, and it boasted the fact that you could see deleted scenes for the first time, and so like from A New Hope, and so I bought it just on that.
Sure,
and so that's where I first saw them. They are being Fixer and Cammy are being harassed by the Nicktoon. Fett shows up, beats the crap of every Nicktoon in the bar, and then drinks some stuff, and then
takes a shot and steals some swoops.
Has his Terminator moment, as I said.
Right, like that. Like it's literally missing Bad to the Bone as he walks out. It's missing. I need to put that on.
I need to go back.
That'd be a great edit.
I wonder if we could do an edit though, where when he's swinging the gaffy, and the rifle was used more as stick than stick was used as stick.
Right.
But like, can we do it so we edit so it goes doom 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 like he just every time he swings it does the Terminator. Doom, doom, doom.
If it's in that beat.
Rona.
No, it's
just
sarcoidosis is even worse.
Ooh. Oh.
All
right, joke's not funny.
So he takes the swoops back to the tribe
where they miraculously repopulate themselves because he brings back 3 with the plus the one he's riding on, and then there's a 5th one.
No, he brings back 5. He's got one. He's dragging 4.
I swear to God, I'll have to watch it again. I think he's dragging 3.
No, there's 5.
All right.
Which they immediately go, ooh, parts.
Yeah, right. The Tuscans are like,
the Tuscans are like Jawas all of a sudden. What are you doing?
And then Fett's got like, no, I'm gonna teach you how to ride these things, which turns out the greatest montage so far in the series.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You know, the quickest way to learn to ride a speeder bike is through a montage.
Absolutely.
It's the quickest way to do anything, really.
But
I love the these are my gift to you. Wait, no, those are mine.
Yeah. Immediately, it's like, I misspoke.
and all the Tuscans are like, we don't speak your language. We have no idea what you're saying.
And my first thought was, that's way to go to being an Indian giver.
See, now,
See, I can't say it.
Nope.
I can. Nope. And see, I represent us, and so I said it for the podcast. So Fett was kind of being an Indian giver.
Yeah, he's like, he gives it, and then
But
he
I've
takes
never
it
seen
back.
that happen that fast.
No, usually it's like a week at least before somebody says, wait a minute, I want that gift back.
Right.
Well, the Tuscans were trying to tear it up, and he's like, he had to save them.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute.
But he teaches the Tuscans how to ride the swoops
And how to jump between them.
and jump into.
And how to fall, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
And then they take on the train.
And they become the Riders of Rohan.
Oh yeah, they just they kind of do. Thunder calls for aid.
I was thinking about this after we watched.
Yeah.
For this whole next scene. They had to have had other Tuscans scattered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's why. Because
'Cause
otherwise,
because-
it looks like they're all run faster than the train and
yeah.
the swoops.
Well, yeah, because Kitty Kimmel's also running between the different groups and alerting them.
right.
Yeah.
With his.
Yeah, he's the signal. He's the
Yeah, he's
fires-
the Gondor.
So they had to have had him scattered.
Yeah, right.
But which means that thing's not moving as quite as fast as I'm expecting, because they should. If it's going as fast as they made it seem, it would have been out of that area in 3 minutes.
I'm also assuming they've gone down this path often enough that the rest of the Tuskens were able to tell Boba Fett the usual route they take.
True,
'Cause
but-
how did they know the route after one?
No.
run-in?
Oh, it was obvious from the first time the
Yeah.
train came through that it's happened.
They've done it before, yeah.
And the bantha was the first thing hit. Like they're like, all right, first we're gonna take out the bantha. Ha ha.
That's basically what I
Yeah.
do in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Take out the buffalo.
on the trains. It's like take that. Oh, usually elk, but it's like one shot those suckers.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was odd when you think of the physics and the geography around it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
But
But also at the same time, TV magic. You
Yeah.
got to have all
Right.
the action and
A
the
little bit,
action.
yeah.
Almost like
a
D&D.
little bit of suspension.
Almost like D&D, where the action actually is taking longer so we can see it
Right.
from different angles
Right.
than actually happens.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Yeah.
the whole thing probably took 20 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
But
You know.
for us, it was 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The 6 rounds. The 6 seconds
6
per
second round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tuscans take the train, and it's this glorious,
Oh, it's such a good scene.
jumping on the train. The train's run by pikes, and the pikes are trying to shoot them off, and then the lady warrior, Mama Tuscan, shows
Rams
up,
her
rams her
speeder.
speeder into it, and just whoops everyone's ass.
Get the cool little
Pops
hallway
up.
fight scene.
Pops up ahead of him, is like, what's taking y'all so long?
Yeah, we
Right.
get the cool little hallway fight scene where
Yep.
she knocks them out while in the train.
So the thing that surprised me most about the train was that the engine of the train
Yeah.
it looks like a train from the 1800s. It's got all the not hoses, but like
It's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
bells and whistles to it.
Yeah.
And it's just like and I'm like it was less Star Warsy than I expected it to be. It was
That
very-
might
But
that might have
except
been
for the wonderful power converters.
yeah, right. There's
And I would-
it's like
It was coming from Tashi
Station.
Station and it
Yeah.
had power converters.
Maybe that was a Rodriguez influence though, because
probably
he
is
is the showrunner,
right
and he likes his kind of
Westernish,
Western.
yeah.
no, it's
style.
no. I'm not just.
No,
I
yeah.
was just saying. I was surprised by that.
Yeah,
I do like the Johnny Five conductor guy.
Yeah.
Who
He's like, no disassemble.
he basically pieces out when Fett shows up to stop the train and just like, no, I'm good, and just drops out the window.
Yeah,
and
he
throws
overloads
spider
it and
legs
runs away.
Yeah.
And so
I hope after the end of the last episode we get an after credit scene of him just getting picked up by Jawas.
yeah, Jawas just grabbed that.
Just
guy.
like yoink.
he's like the rat guy, the little actual rat from Suicide Squad, where we see what happened to
Yeah.
him afterwards.
Yeah.
he's now working some moisture farm probably. They stop the train and unload the surviving pikes. Fett's basically like, hey, this is our land, and you have to pay a toll to come through it. And
So it gives them like one chance to tell them what's actually going on.
and
and
he's like, hey, and also, where are you keeping the spice? And they're like, what spice? And the Tuscans are like, drop
it
the
immediately.
spice. Which is the first time we've seen spice
Just
on
give-
camera, which I thought was
This land is our land. It's sure not your land. This water's real nice. And so is our spice. Like that's
yeah, because we hear
Now-
about spice all the time,
right.
and I know in like other media we've seen it, But it's the first time in film or TV media
Yeah,
that we've seen it.
we've not actually seen it.
Which is I'm glad. Is it a different color? I don't know. You don't
It's
know.
I'm trying to remember what color
It was
it in?
sparkly. That's all I saw.
So it's usually represented as red.
Right. So,
And so-
which is
But it-
so, like
but it-
the spice from Dune, which is what I've always assumed it was.
I'm
is
trying to
looking
remember
like
what it
the
was
spice-
in Boba Fett.
But they also called it. They didn't. It wasn't glitter stem. Which
No.
Sand Santa is what they called it.
Well, the spice from Sansana. Well, Sansana spice from the mines of Kessel.
Right.
Right.
Which we talked about last week about, that's where they
Right.
get their
Yeah.
spice from. 'Cause
Yeah, because the
Pike's Own Kessel.
the
Right.
spice mines of Kessel.
But I always thought like spice was spice and like glitter stem also came from the Kessel.
Yeah.
But I don't know if glitter stem.
Glitter stem might
Also,
be
what's in
made
Death-
from spice.
Also, what's in Death Sticks then? Because that's like a completely different thing too.
Isn't it LHO or am I thinking 40K?
Because
Low.
Cade liked his Death Sticks and had visions of Luke that might have been real, but he wasn't sure. Which that real is another thing.
Right.
Because real is it's spice that hasn't been put through the process yet.
Right.
And you can get that from Ryloth.
All right. So glitter stem is canon.
Okay.
It is a spice. Spice spiders produce glitter stem.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
Um,
Because that's a big thing in Fantasy Flight system. I had an adventure
Yep.
about that.
so there is that. So, yay!
Yeah,
Wikipedia to the rescue again.
yeah. Because technically, spice is just any drug.
Right. But, so they make the Pikes march. And then they go back to the Tuscan camp, and they have a nice little meeting inside the hut. Not non-Jabba.
Okay.
So Santana spice is red. So yeah.
Okay. Death sticks were created from distilled and refined acetyl salona, made from the ballow mushrooms found on the planet
Oh, so
Balozar.
it's shrooms.
Yeah.
Shrooms.
So death sticks
I
are
want some death
shrooms.
sticks. Want to
No
buy some
wonder
death
he
sticks?
was seeing Luke.
Buy some death sticks. No, you want to go home and rethink. You're like, I want to go home and rethink my life. I'm like, dude.
Poor Mouse, because that was Mouse
Mouse,
from
Yeah, Mouse.
from Matrix.
Yep.
So, and this is where this episode takes a turn left,
Oh yeah.
which is not a bad thing, but it does take a left turn here.
Yeah. Now we start to have the argument of who has the worst job, that rat or
All right,
what's
so
coming up.
So, the Tuscan chief is talking to Fett about, Fett. The Tuscans weren't proud when they lived here when there was an ocean, and
They were war people.
and then he says something that I think is very important because there's been some memes going around about how they're showing these Tuscans to be honorable and noble and whatnot, and then they're like the memes are like, what about Shmi? And then he specifically says there are some tribes that are set to kill.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
there's that one tribe that's set to kill.
Yep.
All Tuscans are not the same.
And
Right, well, just-
I also think it's a thing of like this is how some of them react to how people are treating them.
Right.
Some go
Sure.
offensive about it, and some are defensive,
Which-
like the group that Boba's
Right.
with.
Which is absolutely, if we're basing them on Native American culture,
Right.
accurate.
Absolutely.
Because you had who was it, the Apache that were absolutely out for scalps,
Yep.
but then you had
But that
maybe
was-
the Navajo were more not, and then
Yeah.
you had. I mean,
And-
everybody's different. Oh my
And
god!
it's not like they're wrong to do what they're doing.
exactly.
But
I'm
I can kick it to this side of the country. So there was the Red Stick White Stick War,
Yeah,
and
I forgot.
and that was Creeks.
Yep.
And then that was there was Creeks who believed in warring against the American settlers, and there was ones who wanted peace. The Red Sticks and the White Sticks. Andrew Jackson proved that America was better, and because they had guns and stuff.
Yeah.
and so,
Guns tend to,
and Andrew Jackson, dick, and so kind of a douchebag.
Yeah.
And so, Old Hickory. So I get that they're different tribes. Same thing like when we were talking about the Mandalorian, like when we first learned in the season 1 that Mandalorians have a creed not to take off their helmets, and like, wait a minute, we saw Sabine, we saw
Right,
and then we're like, wait,
because there's always like that's with any culture. There's always different sects.
and that's why I'm loving both Mando and this.
right.
Is we are getting deep dives into culture
Right.
that we've never thought about scratching that surface. We just thought alien.
Right.
And now we're like, oh, there's more. We can go deeper, especially with television and Disney
Right.
Plus and everybody else in Disney spreading their web. We can go deep. I mean, we might find out that most Trandoshans actually speak Basic quite well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the ones that leave, off-world, they're not allowed to, who knows? We're going to maybe we'll be.
And I think while these shows are more John's baby than Dave's babies, they are still Dave's babies to a degree. Dave has always had an interest in telling these type of stories because in Clone Wars you had the episode with the Pantorans, which had same themes of.
Yeah.
And I think Dave likes to tell these stories and explore that.
Look, Dave's involved. He's an executive producer on this.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dave's job
He's the lore master for the shows.
He's handpicked by Lucas, so he's Lucas. He's the fill-in for Lucas for this.
Yeah.
Because he knows Luke. He thinks like Lucas.
Yeah.
And the guy who is the cinematographer for this show, and he was the cinematographer for the Fett episode in Mandalorian, is the guy who shot Clerks.
Okay.
And he was on Kevin Smith's thing, and there was not a lot he could talk about because they're literally in the middle of shooting Mandalorian.
And you got your NDAs and all.
Yeah,
that.
he's got NDAs, and Disney's NDAs, a thing.
You lose your. You cannot ever be in the film industry again, probably with
I want to make
with
sure I get
those
this guy's
Disney
name. I think
NDAs.
Dave Klein's the guy's name. I want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah. Disney NDAs will be like, oh, you say something, you're out.
Dave Klein shot it, and so who shot Clerks and shot most of Kevin Smith's stuff until like midway through his career, and then they parted ways, and he went to do
Just-
bigger,
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And so, but Dave Klein was talking about before they shoot anything, the first question is, how would George do this? Which I think is incredibly important. Which also I think was missing from the sequels. But there's, it's not just how it looks, but how things are shot, how things are put together. It's what would George do? And so I think that's a good model for them to base on.
Yeah.
He also,
What would George do, not what would George say?
right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
That's great.
Right,
Because
right.
dialogue's not great.
Yeah, George it's not a strong suit, but
Yeah.
Which, fair.
It happens.
absolutely.
It's why
I'm not a ballet dancer.
I'm not a dialogue guy either when it comes to my films. I let my actors just say, I'm like, the script is more of a guideline. I'm very Pirates about it. Script is more of a guideline more than the actual rules.
I'm a little of both. I like dialogue. I like writing
Yeah.
dialogue. However, if my actors, and you've worked with me,
Yeah.
if you have something you want to pitch, you're more than welcome
Yeah,
to pitch
exactly,
it,
yeah.
and I'll shoot it.
'Cause
And
I
we'll
want
sit
it to sound
and
natural.
And editing, I will figure out what it sounds like.
Because I like to sound natural, and usually if I let my actors go with it, it sounds more natural than just following a script sometimes, because I can't write that.
But anyway, so we're bypassing the best part of this.
Yeah.
So Fett and the tribal chief are talking about Texas and whatever Tuscans in the past
Their
and
culture.
and then he's like, I want to give you a gift, and he gives him a little basket with a lizard in it, and he said it will guide him, and the Fett's like, I will let the lizard. Thank you for the lizard. Like he's like, I don't know what to do with this lizard,
Right.
but thank
Maybe
you.
the lizard's like a compass; it will point me.
Right. And then the lizard just then jumps out of the basket and runs up his nose.
Well, the chief does something and
Yeah,
He
sparks.
throws like something in his face.
Right.
Yeah.
He puts him in his face, and so kind of like the SETI eel from Star Trek 2, just instead of going to the ear, it just goes in the guy's nose.
Right.
And then it sends him on a acid trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Homer Simpson eats the hot pepper
Yeah.
episode.
It's his vision quest.
It's his vision quest, and he goes and he finds.
Didn't get to see the Fonz like Peter in
he's-
Family Guy.
He sees a tree with no leaves, and it swallows him up. And he has visions of him being inside the Sarlacc. He sees Jawa eyes everywhere. And then he comes out of the desert from that experience holding a tree branch, and meets with the tribal chief who and the lizard just jumps out of his nose.
Yep.
Yep.
And so I don't know if that's a bad job. Well, my question is like, do they clean the lizard between uses?
It self cleans.
Yeah, maybe
They got a long
like,
tongue. He's just like yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still gross.
Yeah.
And then
animals
like,
are disgusting.
Yeah. And then like, also like he just comes back with a stick.
Also, I will go ahead and say that in my opinion, the sweat mouse has the worst job.
Sweat mouse versus lizard.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a hut. It's absolutely the worst job.
It's sweat mouse has got the worst job than hallucinogenic lizard.
Than nose lizard.
The nose lizard. Yeah. Yeah, because the lizard doesn't have the hallucinogenic properties as far as
like,
we know.
It's a moist cave.
Right.
That's all I care about. I don't know that my skin makes this guy see weird shit.
I am curious about the hallucinogenic properties of the lizard because, like, obviously,
Go lick a toad.
yeah, but it's a lizard because amphibious versus reptile.
True.
And also
lizards.
And also on top of that,
Or
like
venomous lizard.
they throw the dust in his face. Is that actually what's causing the hallucinogen?
Or was that spice?
Yeah, because
it did sparkle.
yeah, it had a little sparkle.
Maybe it was a little column A,
column B, yeah.
You know, like
maybe there was a
like
little bit
like
of,
like the lizard's the chaser. You know, the sparks in the face is the shot. You chase it with a hallucinogenic lizard.
yeah. There you go.
And the stick is the lime.
Sure,
after
whatever.
Well, where's the
finisher.
salt?
Yeah.
The
whatever.
desert.
I don't know.
You gotta have your salt.
I don't know
'cause
how to
it's-
tequila
it's-
shot.
It's is it salt then lime?
No, because I'm not a pussy. I just drink it straight. I don't need any training wheels.
Ooh, you just called all 380 of you that don't drink it like that out.
Yeah.
I did. You
Yeah.
should drink it like that. Don't drink it with the limes. Just drink tequila. Put on your big boy pants. Drink some tequila.
I don't think I've actually ever had tequila.
Yeah, I
Really?
haven't either.
I maybe have had it in a mixed drink that I didn't know about. but-
Margaritas? You ever had a margarita?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's tequila.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
a tequila based drink. I'm gonna have to get Stephanie to bring us some tequila.
I had something awesome last night, and I don't know what was in it. So I went to there was real quick. There was a VIP section, and I was a husband of one of the members, so I had exclusive access to this.
Nice.
Like the rest, and it had all first of all, I discovered last night that Tito's is dangerous
Yep.
because Tito's does not taste like anything.
Right. That's
I was just drinking orange juice, getting drunk.
Oh no.
Oh, there's no alcohol flavor to Tito's. Zero.
yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I went in there the first time and I was trying to figure out. Well, I don't know what I want, right? Because I'm normally a White Russian. You know, I love I'd love more flavor than alcohol.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather it taste good than be super alcoholic.
I'm there with you.
So, so Danny was like, well, the two bartenders like, wait, I don't know, what do you want? I was like, I don't know, and I was like, do y'all have any clue? And she's like, no, but why? And my wife's like, well, he normally has White Russians, and the second bartender was like, I got you, and so she's like, but you can't look,
That's great to hear from your bartender.
and I was like,
That's how I want to know from a bartender.
okay, so this has actually happened once before in my life, where I was told to just, I got to giggle and be like, okay. But I got it, and it was white, like cream.
Yeah.
It had a coconutty almond flavor, very little hint of alcohol, but it was potent. And she said it's not rum chata, but it was another form of chata she's like, it's Spanish.
Yeah.
Horchata?
Maybe?
Yeah.
What is that?
Horchata is like a spice, like
It's a rice milk.
yeah.
Okay. But it was really good.
Horchata, I love it. You can get a horchata at Mexican restaurants,
Yeah.
and of course I get non-alcoholic, and it tastes to me like the milk left over from Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's got a little
A
bit.
little
of that,
bit?
Yeah,
A little bit?
Horchata
So you had
tends
horchata.
to have that little bit spicy.
But there was more
like-
stuff in it.
Right. So
Cinnamon-y.
she probably did a horchata base and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To it, yeah.
But it was, and then when I went back to get another one, she was out dancing on the floor having a good time, and it was the one that didn't know what she put in it.
Right.
I was like,
yeah.
but thank you. Now I know where to
Horchata.
start.
Yeah.
Horchata.
I'm
that
going to look up horchata
I looked up
recipes.
that Tito's, like how much proof is in that? 80.
Yeah, it's got something.
It's 40%. But you cannot taste any vodka.
That's dangerous.
It wasn't like the orange juice wasn't top shelf orange juice. It
No.
was like ocean spray orange juice.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's all it tasted like.
What is top shelf orange juice?
Pulp with pulp.
Yeah. Pulp.
Freshly
Pulp
squeezed.
is always.
They just flew the oranges in from Florida and are doing this as
Okay.
you order.
But I guess on track with Mando
And or Trop-
Boba Fett
Mine would be
stuff.
like Minute Maid.
and or Tropicana.
Yeah. On track with like Mandalorian and Boba Fett stuff, but also on track with drinks.
Okay.
I've been I went to Books A Million to get the new High Republic book, and I finally bought the tea set that they have there because they have the black Mando tea,
Right.
and then the green Grogu tea. And I just looked up on their website how many like Star Wars drinks they have. They have a Luke tea. They have an Ahsoka one. They've got stuff for Book of Boba Fett now.
So you can be all. I've seen some on Facebook that
Yeah.
posted stuff.
Yeah, because I gave.
You're fancying the tea life, huh?
Yeah, I like tea. Tea's good.
I like mine sweet.
I usually I
black
get,
with ice.
I get the black tea and then I add some cream to it, and then that's usually it.
But the Vision Quest ends with him coming out with the stick. They basically gave him a Theoden moment from Two Towers where they dressed him in their robes.
Yeah.
So basically, he gives his outfit he wore at the end of Mando season 2, and then he goes and makes his gaffy stick, and then after he makes his gaffy stick, they celebrate, and there's credits.
And now, like that TikTok audio, he's got a stick.
He's got a stick.
And I guess that also because we talked about this while watching, confirms that at least in canon, non-Tuskens cannot get the face mask.
Right.
I don't know if that confirms it or not. It just didn't happen.
Well, because I would think
They're-
Boba Fett would have earned it then.
No, we don't know how it worked because in canon we don't know how it works yet.
No,
And so
but
and
he learned the
that-
rest of his outfit and his Goffy.
So they're just like maybe that's his next step. Who knows?
Yeah.
No one says no Tusken goes. This is all you get. So
That's true.
So a lot of speculation again. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know.
As far as we know so far,
far
he
as we
has not
know,
earned it.
Right. And so, of course, he may not need. They actually may need it to survive. He may.
Yeah.
So who knows? Years of evolution have made them probably need to. Who knows? Some trivia.
All right.
So when Boba Fett constructs his gaffy stick with the Tusken Raiders, that wreckage he's in is actually from the original Tusken Raider painting made by Ralph McQuarrie from 1975.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So I knew that one would come up because I remember the Ralph McQuarrie book.
Yeah.
But Fett fights the Nico swoop game at Tosche Station, which is mentioned in New Hope, and featured a deleted subplot in which Luke meets up with old Biggs, his old friend Biggs, before Uncle buys 3PO and R2-D2. The two humans being harassed by Nick 2 are Fixer and Cammy, two of Luke's childhood friends.
And they watch the battle above in the
That-
deleted scene.
Yeah, they do. There's a lot of Lawrence of Arabia. The whole train scene is basically Lawrence of
Yeah.
Arabia. Minus they didn't blow. There's no tracks, so they couldn't blow them up, but it's basically Lawrence of Arabia. Let's see. The symbol of the Nick 2 swoop buys, as well as the back of one of the jackets, appear to be Hut at first glance, but on closer inspection, could also be the skeleton of a Kenton Strider, a creature from the same planet as the Nick 2, which is visible as the club-wielding holographic chess piece in the original Star Wars. New Hope for Dejarik.
Yep.
Members of the Pike Syndicate first appeared in the Clone Wars and made their live-action debut mining Spice on Kessel and Solo. Before leaving, the male Hutt utters the word Murashari, which means bounty hunter in Huttese. This word was first said by Greedo and was one of Zam Wesell's last words in Attack of the Clones. The airbrush text visible on the console inside the train conductor booth translates to core and boost.
Nice.
Well, at least it's simplified.
Yeah.
The tool Boba Fett uses to shape his gaffy stick is a military issue LC-14B Woodsman PAL. It is part of the aircraft survival kit, the aircrew survival kit.
Okay.
Let's see.
And they had a straight up vice. Did you see? Like there was just a straight up vice
Right.
when
Yep.
they started working.
Yeah, because they,
I was like, wait a minute. Anyway.
The mystic journey that Boba Fett takes to find the branch from the tree is reminiscent of the Native American rituals like the one depicted by Carlos Castaneda's in his book, The Teachings of Don Juan, and from which George Lucas took inspiration for the iconic phrase, "May the Force be with you."
Okay.
So, taken from similar source.
The dance around the fire at the end is reminiscent of the Haka, the Maori warrior dancer of the from New Zealand, where Boba Fett himself, Tara Morrison, is from.
Yep. When we watched that, I was like,
Yes, a
oh,
Haka.
he's doing a haka.
Yep.
Basic. I mean, not, but yes.
Yeah.
And of
It's
course,
a
fighting dance.
Similar concept.
Yeah.
the other stuff we've mentioned, someone pointed out the same thing we pointed out. The bar fight in the episode is modeled very closely to the bar fight in Terminator 2.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like I said, it's just missing.
Yeah, it's just missing the music.
Yeah, missing a Bad to the Bone. So
Yeah.
So that was episode 2.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I am curious about that, like how the train works, because like there's like one person who goes under it, the one pike that goes under it, and I because we know that speeder technology, it uses the gravity to keep it up. So does that mean the guy that went under it just felt extra gravity on his body as he?
Oh, probably crushed him.
Suck.
I'm curious if the next episode is going to have more.
I think we get one more flashback.
Think one more flashback, because it's either one or two things.
Because I think they want to catch us up to at least show Finnick and Boba meeting.
Right. Well, because we got to do that.
Also, I kind of want to see. I want to see Boba's first reaction to Marshall having his armor.
Right.
Yeah, but I think at the very least we're going to see Finnick and Boba meet.
So
even if we don't
after
see
she's
Marshall.
shot.
Yeah, because we got to see him pick her
Because I got to
up.
figure out like what. I don't understand exactly what's like robotic on her.
Also, like, what's the deal they have? Because we just know that he saved her,
Right.
but we don't know like what kind of arrangement was
Right.
made past that.
Maybe she's like a Wookiee. It's like, this is a life debt. I'm just going to do this.
Yeah. Because I feel like Finnick's the type that's in it for the money.
She has a heart, though.
Yeah.
We saw it in Bad Batch.
To a degree, yeah. In Bad Batch, we kind of see it.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like bleeding.
No.
But she has a heart.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Like, she at least has more heart than Cad, but that's not saying much. Cad Bane.
So does this bottle.
Like, that's not saying much.
That's true. That's true. Just thinking about Cad Bane. Like, possibility Cad Bane still showing up in this is still kind of on the list.
Yeah.
Well, what's
I
the-
feel like I'd rather see in Bad Batch season 2 Cad, and then they do what they were going to do in Clone Wars and kind of wrap that up. Cad's story there.
Right. Well, we could get it in a flashback.
Yeah.
I'd watch it live action.
Yeah. Which
What's a life expectancy of a Duro? Do we know?
they can live a good bit. I think they're
Human-like?
Probably
human-like.
human-like.
Okay.
So, Cad can make it to where
Okay,
we are.
That's why I'm at. I'm just.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cad
if
can
they
make
only live 40 years, then we're not going to see Cad
But we're
Bane.
also like assuming, because he's also a bounty hunter, so a little bit of a shorter life
Right.
expectancy. Because
Speaking of life expectancies, and off topic, did you guys see Ratatouille?
yeah,
Forever ago.
Right,
yeah.
but right. And so
Yeah.
at the end of Ratatouille, the critic or whatever invests money into Remy's new restaurant, and then I saw her meme that says, "Rats only live 1.5 years." That's a terrible investment, and I cannot stop thinking about that. It's a terrible investment.
yeah. Like unless Remy somehow like teaches another rat how to be as good as him, or anybody to be as good as
Or
him.
the human.
Linguini does not have cooking skills.
Maybe at that point, though, it's motor memory.
Yeah,
He just knows what to do based on
maybe
being
what's
a
I forget
puppet.
the girl's name, but maybe she can.
I've only saw it once.
Yeah, it's
so-
been a long
but-
time since I last saw
That's
it.
also the same. Why to switch gears to another nerd fandom? how did the Weasleys not realize that their pet rat that was like 8 years old was not just a pet rat?
Right.
Yeah. Well, they thought Magic Rat maybe because they
Magic
buy
Rat.
them at a probably at a magic store.
which have life expectancy of like 4 or 5 years.
Why didn't the map the rat show up on the map?
That's
Maybe
the biggest. That's the biggest thing.
So I've heard a theory that the Marauders themselves made sure that they didn't show up on the map.
which he was a marauder.
Did not know that. So
Yeah.
I
He was one of the 4 that made the map.
Yeah, because it was him
So there-
and James and
Him, James, Sirius, and Remus.
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, I just wanted I'm surprised I remember that.
It's
so.
either that or Fred and George are dickheads.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess Ron's in bed with another dude again. Not telling anybody.
Yeah. Hey, or that makes them the best brothers because they didn't out their brother. Like they didn't.
Pretty sure the year
they
before
didn't
they
bring-
would have seen that dude in the bed with
Yeah.
Percy.
Yeah. But that maybe makes them great brothers for not getting their brother out of the closet in their mind
Well,
because they wanted Ron to come out when he wanted to.
Maybe.
take Hermione to a side. And there's a couple of things we need to tell you about Ron that may come up in your future relationship. Just to let you know. Just putting this out. Just clearing the air. He's ready when he want to be ready. But just saying, you should be aware.
All right.
But yeah, going back. Anything else?
I think we're doing Star Wars.
Okay.
This was Mando Monday, and it was what a Mando Monday it was.
Yeah.
Was.
I think we stayed on track for the most part. We
No,
had some
we did
tangents.
not.
However, here at the end of the episode, welcome to Mando Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. It's another man.
Tomorrow Tuesday.
Tomorrow Tuesday.
Tomorrow Tuesday.
This is Sky saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours. And may the force be with you.
I knew you were going to say that.
General Kenobi.